So, I've said this a lot. When someone has your back, like they're in one of the two most dominant positions in jiu-jitsu. However they got there, like we made a mistake a long time ago, so we'll have to fix that. But they're on their back now. So anytime someone's on your back, again, the priority is that I have to protect my neck. Like his priority is to attack and submit, and typically from the back, it's going to come from the neck and nowhere else. Maybe the arm, but they want the neck from the back. Okay, so I have to protect. And what I want to do is I want to lean forward if I can. Okay, I want to create a little space between his chest and my back. The tighter he is, the easier it is for him to maintain. So the first things first. And look, I'm not a fan of this. I feel like you can protect the choke like this, but eventually they're going to get their hands through. I mean, there's a lot of people who do stuff like this or way high, you know, here. But for now, I just want cross hand. So I want my shoulder tight to my chin, and then I want this hand trying to keep him out. You'll feel when he pulls the arm out that you know, that's where I need to defend it. I'm always trying to keep my shoulder inside his forearm here. I can never let him fish around here. This is too much liability. Eventually he might catch something. I need to have my shoulder in. Okay? So that's the hand fight that'll keep happening. So what we're gonna do is just go through the basic fundamental escape right now. So I'm protecting my neck first and foremost. I'm gonna lean forward to create a little space between my back and his chest. When I have that space, I'm gonna move to the side, especially when he pulls the hand out to go from the choke. And I'm always moving away from the choking hand. I wanna move away from this. So I'm here, I'm gonna create space forward, and I'm gonna drop to the side. As I'm dropping to the side, this is important. I wanna hip out, escape my hips the same direction here by the time I hit the mat. I want my back and my shoulders and my hips square to the ceiling. I want to be squared up. Now the threat of a choke is gone. Okay? So he's going to try, I'm going to keep him here for now, but at least I don't have to worry about a choke. And what I want to do is, I'm making his hooks weak. I want to step outside his bottom hook here. So now his hook I'm outside one hook, but I need to start getting out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up over his leg. I need my butt to touch the mat. But I don't want to do that by moving away. Because if I move away from him, it's too easy for him to come to mount. Okay? So I need to get my butt off his leg. So I step out of the hook. I'm going to slide up till it's on the mat. And I'm keeping this arm inside, right? So he can't come up on top of me. I'm blocking here. Okay? So once this hook is out and I've done this, now I'm kind of out. My butt's on the mat. My hook is out. I'm going to sit up and put my elbow over his head. Okay? And it's kind of my safe spot. I'm going to look and see what his legs are doing. So depending on what his legs are doing, he's going to determine what I'm doing. So in this case, it's going to be Disneyland. This is my profession. His legs are just open, which no one who can take your back, has the ability to take your back, is then just going to leave their legs
but
open.
expensive.
Right. We'll go through it. So keep your legs are open, like no half guard. So he's just like that, hanging out. So all I'm going to do here is grab his knee, pull it towards me, switch my base, and drive him side control. Okay? Or again. And there's nothing fancy or pretty about any of this. It's just has to happen. He's on your back. So I'm defending the choke. He goes for the choke. I create space. I drop to the side. And as I'm falling, I'm already hipping out. Boom. Trying to get this hook out. Now I get my butt to the mat. I'm blocking him. I'm going to sit up and get my elbow over his head. This knee needs to be up. If this knee's down or like this and he's big and strong, he's going to bridge over the top of you. This allows me to keep my pressure into him. His legs are open. Pull this leg out and right into side control. Okay? So let's harder up and let's go through this real quick, and then we'll go through the variations of it, and then we'll look at some other stuff. This is number 2. This'll be this first one will never happen. You'll get your back to the mat, but they're never just going to hang out with their legs open. So now everything's the same. I'm here. Again, I move away. I square my hips as I'm dropping to get outside the hook immediately. I'm getting my butt to the mat. And now when I sit up here, his legs are closed, which they will be, okay? So if they're closed, I need to change some things up. I'm going to be stepping over his body, but I can't step it over his body with my elbow where it's at right now. Because if I do, he's going to go right to my back. Boom, he's already on my back, and I'm in trouble. So instead, when I'm here, I'm going to put my elbow under his head, and I want my shoulder in his face, and shoulder pressure to his face. I know it's hard for you guys to see. But now that I'm here, now I can step over, and so I'm just going to block his knee. I'm going to step over, but as you'll see, he can't go to my back, but he still has the underhook here. So,
Left arm, Dre. So now, keep it good underhook, like you're trying. So now I need to bring both arms here, onto this side. Weaken his underhook, get back underneath, and come up around the head. Okay? So, we're here. Again, he goes for the choke. I'm here, immediately getting outside, up, and when I set up, his legs are closed, so I move under his head. Okay? Now as I step over, he's got the underhook here, so I need to bring both arms to this side. I need to make his elbow weak, so I can dig underneath, regain the pummel, and now flatten him out, and look to pass. So, I'll walk you guys through this one. So, we'll do it together, step by step, and then you guys can do it on your own, just so we make sure we get all the steps. All right, so we're on the back, and the person on the back is just gonna pull their arm out. Like they're going for the choke, you're gonna lean forward, drop your back to the mat, step outside the hook, and get your butt to the mat, and then sit up and put your elbow over the head. Now, their legs are locked, okay? So you can't just step over, so move your arm under their head, and you can feel the shoulder pressure you can apply. Now you're gonna step over their leg all the way, drive your knee all the way to the mat. But now swing both arms to the opposite side of their body. So stay tight, both arms walking down and weaken their arms. So keep walking it down, see how this palm is high, strong, bring this, the further you bring this one down, the easier it is to dig this one back.
Coach John T too.
All right, good, we're doing good with that one. So Grant, let's look at, I think we're doing well with that one. I don't know, I'll have to watch what.
I don't feel like I am. Speak for yourself.
All right, so this one's gonna happen 90% of the time. The first one won't ever happen. The second one will happen like 5%. This one will happen 90% of the time. So I'm here, everything's the same. I'm on my side. I step outside the hook. This guy feels like he's losing it. He already knows he's losing it. So instead of hanging out, he's gonna pull this arm out. He's gonna try to come up on top. My outside hand is just gonna find his knee when he's doing it. So he's coming up. I'm just gonna make sure he stays in half guard. I'm hipping out on my side, and this hand that pushes his knee ends up with the pummel here, and I'm ready to start escaping. Okay? So all you're doing is just taking half guard. This will happen more than anything else. The struggle is to get your back to the mat. So he's gonna be tight and all this and trying to go for the choke, and you're trying to create space. And the struggle's all in here. But once I'm out, he's gonna shoot up. I'm just walking his knee in half guard and getting on my side here. That's it. It's that easy. Okay? So let's try that. Bottom person tries to come up on top to mount. The person in front who's trying to escape just pushes into half guard, gets on your side. The hand that pushes the knee into half guard. This is when I do. As soon as someone gets on your back, as soon as they get on your back, everything's the same. I'm here, and as I drop, this arm that's here, I'm protecting the choke here, but the arm that's here, I want to keep their leg kind of behind me. I'm trying to escape my hip as I drop. So as I create space and I drop, two things. As I'm dropping, this leg is going to step over this one. As this one clears my hip, clears this off my hip. Here, I just need my hip to escape a little bit. Now I'm just taking my head to my foot and getting inverted here. Boom. And I'm just staying here. Casting a wide net. There's nothing he can do. There's one of two things. He's going to try to kick this leg out, and I'm just going to hang out here and catch him in guard. Okay? Or he hangs out there too because he's not sure what to do, and I'm just going to pull his leg here and start working towards his back. Okay? So the key here, and you can play around with it, is to get, you're just getting inverted, is to escape your hip, the top hip, the hip towards the ceiling as quick as you can. So I'm here, boom, I'm just leaving this leg behind and escaping my hip. Once I escape my hip, I'm just digging my head and getting inverted and sliding here. Look, if this leg comes out and he just stays here, I'm just kicking back, too far, and driving over into side control. You both hang out there and your legs are free. Just kick over his body and end up in top side control. So just play around with it a little bit. This is all I use right now. When I train with someone and I let him take my back, this is the escape I use.
I'll let him take
Yeah. Nobody ever takes my
When I
back.
let you fools take my back once in a
I'll
while.
let these guys get on my back. All right, let's do it.
You know, just for the exercise.
Like